Coming up next, we're going to talk about fighting burnout and how to stop wandering through your career. We'll take your calls and your chat questions, and it starts now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville, and you're joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. It is all about your purpose, which is not actually about you, it's about others. We believe here on the Ken Coleman Show that you were created to fill a unique role through your work. In other words, you were created to contribute. What is that contribution that you long to make? It's why you ask the question, or you have at some point in your life, why am I here? And the answer actually lies within you. There are clues, and we're going to look at talent, what you do best, passion, the work you love to perform, and then mission, the results of your work that really matter deeply to you, where those all intersect. And it looks like this. I use what I do best to do what I love to do most, to produce results that matter deeply to me. That's the sentence. That is your purpose statement, your purpose sentence. You fill in the blanks. What do I do best? Talent. What work do I really love to do? I have high emotion and high devotion for this work. And then all work creates results. So we want to match up the results that matter deeply to you to the work you love to do. That's the breakthrough. That's the sweet spot, the intersection of those three: talent, passion, mission. So we want to help you figure that out. And then you look to the marketplace. There's multiple jobs, many times multiple career paths that will allow you to stay in your sweet spot, perform that role. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in. It's your show. Madison is standing by right now. Some of you are a little nervous. I get it. We're going to take care of you. We're going to honor you. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Now, a little bit later, we'll get to the chat room. You can submit those questions right now. Next to the video window there, you'll see the chat, and you can engage and encourage others as well. Keep it nice, and we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. Right below the video window there, if you enjoy the program, give us a thumbs up every time you're here. That helps us. It's an analytical thing. I don't know how it works, but I know it helps. Also, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscription button. You're not going to get spammed. You're just subscribing. You get notified. That's all when the show is up live. And also consider sharing the show with that share button below. All right. Burnout is still a part of our world lexicon. It's just a word we all know. Oh, I'm burned out. Oh, he's burned out. She's burned out. You ever had burnout before? Are you experiencing burnout? We understand what burnout means. We could all give our definition of it. There has been confusion around it as to whether or not it's a medical condition. The World Health Organization has said it is not, in fact, a medical condition, even though media outlets have said that it is. It's not. Are the symptoms of burnout physical symptoms, mental symptoms, emotional symptoms? Are those symptoms real? Sure, absolutely. But it's not a medical condition. What is causing these symptoms of burnout is actually easily defined. And so I want to give you the causes of what you feel, because burnout is actually just a description of all of those symptoms. Let me tell you what really is happening, because burnout's not a thing. This is build up on your heart. See, when you cover your heart with the 5 things that cause buildup, you no longer feel a heartbeat, and there's no feeling at all. You are just numb because of all these negative things that cause buildup. And that affects you physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the symptoms, well, those are real, but don't we want to get to the source? And so burnout's not the source. Buildup is the source. 5 major causes. Here we go. Number 1, you're not in your sweet spot. You're not using your talent, what you do best, to do work that you really love, to produce a result that actually matters deeply to you. You're not in your sweet spot. There's zero passion for the work. You keep going into a place and doing a job that's not in your sweet spot, that's not firing you up, you're going to start to ask, why am I doing this? It's just work. It becomes meaningless to you. It's dangerous. Then you start to feel meaningless. And that's where we start to get into mental health and emotional health issues. Second reason that causes buildup, toxicity, a toxic culture, toxic team, teammates, toxic leader. Most people leave companies because of this very issue, poor leadership, poor management. Third cause of buildup is being overwhelmed. You're just you're just drowning. The minute you walk in the office, it's too much. You can't barely keep your nose above water. The fourth cause is you're underappreciated. You don't feel valued. You don't feel seen. We know from research that men and women would rather receive recognition than a raise. We all want to get an answer to the question, do you see me? Do you notice me? And then the fifth cause of buildup, you're bored. There's no challenge. You see, we humans are creatures of progress. We want to be challenged. We want to know that we got a chance to make some progress, or are we just spinning around in a circle, if it will? So you're not in your sweet spot. You're in a toxic culture. You're overwhelmed. You're underappreciated. You're bored. Some of you are all five. Some of you are just a few. What do you do? Well, now that you can identify the 5 causes of buildup that are making you feel burned out, now we address those things. If you're not in your sweet spot, you got to start figuring out what that is and making steps to get there. If you're in a toxic culture, you try to address it. If it can't be fixed, leadership won't fix it, or if it's a leadership problem, we got to move on, make a plan. If you're overwhelmed, you got to address that with your leaders. See if they're aware that you're drowning. If you're underappreciated, this again is a culture problem. Can that be fixed? Is it going to change? If it's not, you got to move on. And if you're bored, look for a challenge within or on the outside. But knowing what's causing this buildup, and it's literally the effect, folks, of understanding that to be engaged is what we're talking about here. People that are burned out, there's a problem with engagement. And so there's too much, right? There's not enough, or it's negative. That's what we just described. But the idea here is that you begin to have negative emotions and negative thoughts which affect us physically. So the physical, emotional, and mental, they all converge together because you're just not happy. And it's the equivalent of, if I ask you to put your hand on your heart right now, you can feel your heartbeat. If you listen, you can feel it. But if you keep putting a blanket, another blanket, another blanket, another blanket, another blanket, another blanket on you, and you put your hands over where your heart is, and even pressing up against the blankets, you can't feel your heart anymore. That's what buildup is doing. It's covering up your heart to the point you can't feel it anymore. And you show me a person who's just not having any positive heart feelings towards their work, it's not good. It eventually gets really bad. So understand those 5 causes of buildup and then address them. And you will experience unbelievable rebirth and restoration in your work. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's get to the phone lines. Miko is up first in Springfield, Massachusetts. Miko, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call today.
You bet. How can I help, Miko?
So I've been really wanting to get into computer programming, and I was looking at different options, and a lot of places say that they are looking for a bachelor's degree in computer science, and I haven't gone to college at all. I do the trades, but I found out through my union I could go to a 2-year college with tuition paid and fees, but it's not really for computer programming. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really sure, but I did also look at some boot camp type of trainings, but it was also saying that a lot of people aren't getting hired and it's flooding the market. So I wanted to know what you would suggest.
Well, I would not suggest that you go to a 2-year college, even though it's paid for, if it's not going to put you on the path of doing what you want to do. So it sounds good. It sounds like it's got some value in it. But the problem is it doesn't prepare you to do the work of computer programming. And you know what prepares you to do the work. You're very clear on that, correct?
Correct.
So go do that. Now, is it hard right now to get hired in certain places of the country? You bet. Especially where you are. I mean, again, I'm not paying attention to Boston local news, but my guess is that your economy is still largely shut down or very suppressed. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I'm in a job right now that I've been able to continue to work.
Which is great. So this may just be a patience game. So the fact of the matter is, you know what you need to do to get qualified, and it's not a 4-year degree and it's not a 2-year degree. It's just some good old-fashioned training and certification. So go do that. So that way you're prepared when the economy thaws a little bit up there in the Boston area, you know? Or the other issue is you move. And I don't know that that's an option for you. And I'm not saying it needs to be, but I'm saying when you've got this COVID-like situation where there's just not a lot of jobs available, you're going to have to be patient. I think you still go for it. So I think you go get qualified. That's the stage you're in. You're in stage 2. You're very clear. Stage 1 is get clear. Stage 2 is get qualified. That's the stage you're in. Go get qualified so that you're ready. And then as you're getting qualified, get connected. That's stage 3. So you're ready to just go all in on both stages there, stage 2 and stage 3, get qualified, get connected. And you just go. And if you hear a bunch of no's, it's not about you. It's the economy right now. And as things thaw, you're out there connecting. You're putting yourself out there. You're making more connections. Every time you get a no, that's okay. It just means not here or not yet. And that becomes your theme. And you keep plugging away, and then you're eventually going to get your opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I'm willing to. I can move wherever too. Like I'm not.
Well, I like that
this area.
I like that option because I will tell you, we are in a country right now that has a whole bunch of different economies, plural. You know,
Yes.
And so the only thing I say is exactly what I just said, except open your search. Open your search
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the qualification part that I'm a little concerned about. So a lot of people, I notice, are being able to be self-taught, and that's kind of what I've been trying to do recently. And I just, I read a lot, and it started to make me nervous, where it was like, oh, you're not going to get hired if you're self-taught. And so
that's not true. That's not true. I just think it's what are the qualifications? What are the certifications that are widely it's obvious that these are the certifications you need to get the job. What are those? Is there a list of them?
Well, you can, you can become like, say, C++ certified or Java certified, so it's just like picking a particular program that you want to work with and then just learning as much as you possibly can about that program and then taking certs for them.
That's what I think you should do. Who cares if you're self-taught? All that matters is that you pass the cert process.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. So I was just a little nervous that I was going to waste my time and,
that's understandable that you're nervous, but I mean, do you believe you've got the mental chops? I mean, if you teach me computer programming, I probably fail the test, but I'm just not gifted in that area of my brain. I'm just not, Yeah,
I definitely think it's something I can pick up. It's not something I've ever done. I'm more like an electrician, but I've always been fascinated by it. And I kind of was pushed into electrician because it was safe.
Yeah.
And it wasn't something I ever really wanted to do. Sorry, I work at an Air Force base.
Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm all about you. Here's what I'm telling you. I think you maybe talk to a couple programmers and stuff, and talk through some of this stuff, and just get a feel from them if you've got the chops. But I think you got the chops. So why not take a really cheap or free programming course online? Just see how you do. But I think you've got it. And I just don't think you need to be nervous. Here's why. How much is it going to cost you to self-study and then take, let's say, a Java certification? How much is that going to cost you financially?
About $500 roughly.
That's not a massive risk. That's not.
No.
I mean, come on. I mean, if you take it and fail, we're not going to set yourself back 2 decades.
Correct.
Save it up. Go for it. I guess what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to take your nerves away. What are we nervous about? It's not like the whole world's going to get an email. Hey, folks, Miko failed this test. She's a loser. Right?
Yes.
And we know we're not going to ruin you financially. So what are we nervous about? Nothing. You're nervous about nothing. I'm not getting on you.
Right.
I've been there. But I'm just making fun of your fear and doubt right now and going, shut up, fear and doubt. Leave Miko alone, please. So you have to do the same thing.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, go for it, Miko. I know you're going to get there. I'm literally absolutely sure you're going to get there. So go do it. Start today.
Well, I will definitely give you a call back when I do it.
Oh, I cannot wait, Miko. We'll do a dream scream if it's the dream job, but if it's not, we'll do a celebration. We'll dance a little bit. Wait till you see me dance on YouTube. It's not pretty. Madison does not like it, but I'm willing to do it to celebrate each and every one of you, Miko. And I know you're going to get there. So please do call us back because people need to hear you. They need to hear you say, this is where I was, this is what I did, this is where I'm now, and this is how it feels. So do it.
Okay. All right.
All right,
sounds
Miko.
Great.
You're awesome. So fun. I believe in you, Miko. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Alexandra, sorry, I got to say that right, in New York City. Alexandra, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Thank you so much, Ken, for accepting my call. I'm really excited in speaking with you. I follow your principles of proximity, and I changed my resume format to the one that you put online. And once I changed it, I mean, in LinkedIn, I had 37 people viewing my resume, and that's more than I have ever had.
Wow. Now, do you have a theory on why that happened?
Well, I think I focused more on my achievements.
Yep.
In growth and opportunity that I succeeded within the company. And so it kind of changed my boring, because in my previous email, it was more like, well, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. But what made me who I was, I didn't explain, like, the percentage of growth that I did for the company and how I trained and mentored and coached sales teams. And because of that, we were able to be successful with new products, et cetera, et cetera.
Great.
So just to kind of give you a small background check on me, since I was 22, I've been working in the beverage industry. I've worked as a supplier for Corona and Heineken. Then I took a leap and I wanted to learn, like, what was the distributor side of selling products. And then from there, I went to liquor and wines because I also wanted to expand my knowledge, about beverages. So now, in the present moment, I am unemployed for kind of like the last 4 years. 2 years ago, I took a job in a dessert company, but it was in a toxic environment. For some reason, my manager did not like me, and I was the only female in the team that wasn't Italian. So
oh boy!
I grew the company starting February, ending in June, from a negative 14 to a positive 2.
Wow!
But to him, it didn't matter. Like,
sure,
I was just.
I get it.
It was a toxic environment.
So
okay.
Alexandra, what can I answer for you today?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So right now, I am what I'm looking for you to help me is to find, like, a good cover letter, like a specific, like, format, maybe like you did with the resume, for me to kind of express who I am and what type of value I can bring into the company.
Yeah, gotcha.
So that's one that I'm looking for.
Okay.
And I'm also looking for keywords to put in my resume so I can stand out from other people that are applying for my same job.
Yeah. Well, okay, go ahead.
And the third one is keywords I can use on my interview, because I have an interview next week with a beverage company, and seriously, like in my gut, in my heart, and in my soul, I got the job. But I still have to go do the interview.
Okay. All right. I got help. I got help. You ready? Okay, couple things.
I'm ready. Yeah.
All right, so on the cover letter, we've got an article at my website, kencoleman.com. If you go to my website and click on articles, there is an article there, 7 tips for writing a cover letter. Okay?
Oh, okay.
How about that?
Perfect.
So I've got, it's just going to answer your question so much better than I have time to do it here. But we've got a very specific article on 7 ways to write, tips to make that cover letter really, really, really good. Okay, so go read that. All right. Now, as far as the keywords on your resume, this is just like search engine optimization. So it's probably a good idea for you to print out or be staring on the screen the job description of this, of any job you're going for, and so what you look at is it's almost like English or grammar class. And you look at that job description and you look for the theme words in it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, what are the major words in this job description? And I would be, looking for those words where it ties into your experience. So, if they're looking for somebody with, you were going to be managing inventory, a staff of or whatever,
or a staff of 20 direct reports.
Exactly. That's what you want to do. You still use my format, but you want to stand out, and so you put the key words in there, and it's not as simple as a cut and paste so that they see what you're doing there. It's that any description of yourself and your talent and your experience needs to have straight to the point what they're saying they need. And that's what I would do on that. I think that's the way to go. And then as far as your interview goes, we've got the How to Win the Interview Guide, which is one of my 3 Get Hired guides at kencoleman.com. So if you look at the Get Hired guides, I'm going to prepare you for the interview. Okay?
Hire guide.
So it's called How to Win the Interview. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's called
an interruption.
That's okay. No, don't be apologizing. I'm here for you, Alexandra. I'm here for you. So you're going to get 2 things on my website: that 7 tips for writing a cover letter. That's under articles, and then the Get Hired guides, plural. Okay, it's where you got the resume guide. You just need the How to Win the Interview, and that's under resources. So go get those, and it's going to prepare you so that you are just performing like a rock star, and I know you will. So thank you for the call, Alexandra. Great things are ahead. It's a really good point. I pulled up the website while I was on the call there because we've got so many articles, and I knew we had an article on how to write a cover letter. But we have so many things. I don't mention these articles a lot on the program, and I should, because there's so much free stuff at our website, kencoleman.com, and I work with our team. We do research on this stuff. This isn't just, out of my ear opinion. So 7 tips for writing a cover letter, another great article, but you just need to kick the old tires. On the website, the article section, so much good stuff there. So go check it out. 844-747-2577. Now let's go to the chat room. Let me pull it up here, folks. I'm just moving along here. Here we go. Vicky writes in, "Hey, Ken, I got a better job offer after accepting an offer from a different company and working there for about a month. Is it okay to quit my new job for the better offer?" Yes. Now, I'm just going to tell you, some of you are going, "Really, Ken? You skated through that one pretty quickly." Well, I answered her question. Yes, it's okay, because this is addressing the heart of her question. Am I a jerk? Is it unethical? That's essentially what this boils down to. She's wondering, am I a jerk? Am I a bad person, unethical person, because these people hired me. I've been on the job for a month, and then somebody else has offered me, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, deuces, I'm out." I get it. But the reality is that if this is all in good faith, and what I mean by that is you weren't leveraging all of these things. You went after the jobs. One came in, you took it. Another one comes in and it's better. You got to do what's best for you. Is it going to upset them? Yes. Yep, it is. So understand that. They might not be upset. Maybe they're just like, well, or disappointed, but we understand you got a better offer. You got to do what's right for you. But yeah, we're bummed. We don't like it. Puts us in a tough spot. It is what it is. You still got to do what's best for you. Here's my point on this. If we do things that go, well, this is the right opportunity and the best opportunity for me, and I can't control the timing because that's what this sounds like, folks. And we say, well, I can't do this. I can't take this great opportunity for me because these people will be upset at me. Well, think about that for a second. Well, Ken, I gave my word. Yeah, but what if they had to lay you off and you'd only been there for a month? Do they have the same responsibility to you? Well, you hired me. How can you decide to fire me within a month? Well, tough cookies. They did. They're doing what's best for them. You do what's best for you on that. Let's see. Bill writes in, I'm 53 and trying to re-enter the job market after 4 years of being unemployed. How do I make myself appealing to employers? Well, you cannot. This is a question that is completely coming from the perspective of your resume, and you're going, I've got a 4-year gap. Oh no, no one's going to find me valuable. And that narrative can be true and will be true if you're just submitting resumes and there's no connection. A resume without a relationship is worthless. It just is. You're playing the lottery. Well, wait a second, Ken. I got a job. I just submitted a resume through their website and I went through the process. I got the job. Great. You won the lottery. People win the lottery every week. All right. If somebody's always winning the lottery, it might go for a while and somebody wins. Great. You won the lottery. Fantastic. Great job. I'm trying to help people beat the odds, not play the lottery. I want people to take the odds out of the equation. And you do that through relationships and connections and the proximity principle. And you've got to use your web of connection. You're getting in proximity to people who can open up a door or actually walk your resume in the door. You've got to leverage your relationships so that the places that you want to apply for, when you apply, they hear about you from somebody else who's very credible to them. And then you're not worried necessarily about being prejudged because there's a 4-year gap. It's just, I know Bill. Here's how I know Bill. I think Bill's got all the talent necessary to fit this job. And I know he's a high character guy, a good person, and would be a great teammate. That's what we're talking about there. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. I was having coffee with a friend this morning, and we were just, catching up and dreaming and scheming for each other. It's fun to sit with other people that are high achievers and just say, hey, what's the next 10, 15 years look like for you? And so that was the conversation. And I was asking him, what he's a very successful professional, a go-getter, and came by the office and we had coffee, and I just said, hey, what are you working on? What's new? What's exciting for you? And so he's talking about some content that he's developing, and that's fun. And it's, for me, it's fun to talk shop with people that are in my industry and those that are outside of my industry, because it's so fascinating to learn about what other people do to be really good, and then how they do their job that I don't even understand really that well, or certainly don't have any experience in it, how they do it well. It's fun for me. I just enjoy it. So anyway, we're talking, and the idea of wonder popped up. And this is something I've talked about before on the show. I will talk about it a lot. In fact, it was a reminder to me that I haven't talked about this in a while. And so I just want to talk about wonder versus wandering. So if you can get to a place of wondering, you can stop your wandering. There it is. So how do you stop wandering through your career? Some of you are just wandering and wandering from this job to this job, and you got laid off here and this didn't work out, and you're just wandering around. In the old days, I would watch John Wayne movies with my grandfather, Joe. And I've told you about this many times before. And any of those old Western shows or movies, many times in those movies or in these television shows, there would be a kind of a cutaway shot that sets up a scene. And it would be the streets of Laredo, something like that, you know? You know what I'm talking about, Joe.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just the dirt street, saloon on one side, hotel on the other. And it's a transition scene. And you would see a ball of tumbleweed or two kind of just
moseying through the town.
Moseying across the street, right? What's happening? The wind of the plains is blowing this tumbleweed literally wherever it chooses. Tumbleweed has no control over it. They're just like, whoa, the wind blew me over here. Whoa, hey, now we're over here. And so this is describing really many of you. This is the wandering I'm talking about. So how do you stop the wandering? It's to start wondering. Just wonder. The sense of what if, what could be, what should be, what must be. Now, there is a childlike quality that we're going to have to force ourselves to get back to because we're all born with it. I want to take those of you who are going, okay, Ken, I get this wondering part, but what do you mean this childlike spirit that I've got to have? So let me take every one of you back to Christmas morning. Hopefully you had a wonderful, safe childhood and there was some sense of wonder on Christmas morning. Every kid comes down on Christmas morning full of wonder. Oh, what's underneath the tree? Let me pick it up, shake it a little bit, right? What's underneath that blanket? Is that the toy horse that I wanted? I think that box is moving. Is that a puppy? They're excited. They're wondering, this is, and when they open up the presents and they're blown away, what happens? Wonder. That's what I mean by this childlike wonder that we all are born with and we all experience. And then life has its way of dulling that. Whether it be the slow dulling or the traumatic covering of wonder. I don't know what your situation is, but I can tell you this. If you're wandering and you really would look at yourself, and if you're honest, if it's just you and me having a cup of coffee, you'd say, Ken, I'm a wanderer. I've been wandering a long time. No particular path, no particular direction, no strategy, just letting the wind blow me. The way to begin to stop this is to say, I'm going to, maybe for the first time in a long time, go back to a place maybe when I was 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, and I wondered about a future, a very specific future. To go back to that. To take yourself back to a place where there were no fears and doubts. It was just possibilities. Start there. And then begin to wonder about yourself with stage 1 of this journey to meaningful work and living on purpose. And that's getting clear. Wonder. I wonder what others would say who know me well about what they feel I've always done very well. Just came easy to me. I wonder if I look back, I wonder if I can make a list of a task, a function, a role that I really love to fill. I wonder what that is. I need to begin to wonder. And then, how could I do that work and create results that matter to me? Mission. Begin to self-assess and get others to weigh in and confirm and edit the list. And then begin to wonder, how could I get there? What would it be like if I did this thing that I've longed to do and just stopped thinking about it because I thought it was impossible? You see what's happening here? It's just allowing yourself to imagine what could be, what should be, and what must be. See, wondering is where it all starts. And there are many of you right now that are watching this show, and you know I'm speaking to you. I'm looking right into your heart. It's been a long time since you've had any childlike wonder about anything, but certainly about yourself and your contribution. Begin the process of wondering. Use the indicators. Figure out what you do best, talent, what work you love to do, passion, results of your work that matter really deeply to you, mission. See, this is all wondering. My favorite thing about little toddlers, certainly my own 3 kids, Ty, Chase, and Josie. We got a lot of young families here at Ramsey Solutions, and every once in a while we get to see them here at the office. And my favorite thing about little kids has been and always will be their sense of wonder. Walking into this big building, walking into the coffee shop and seeing the cookies as big as their face. Walking over here to the glass window and going, well, what's that guy doing in there? What's that thing that he's talking into? There is a complete and total sense of wonder. And if I could just close this thought by saying, if you can take yourself back, or even if you've got nieces and nephews or friends with little toddlers, it might be a good idea to go hang out with those families and just watch the kids be kids. Remind yourself of what you used to be like. Remind yourself that you do, in fact, have that childlike wonder still within you, and get connected to it again. You won't believe how it will begin to open up your mind and your heart at the same time. I promise. Start wondering. Stop wandering. My time is almost up, but before I let you go, I want you to know that you do matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.